you better off elsewhere tonight. Grab your pitchforks and start your struggle. Grab your loved ones and run for your lives. There's a witch among us and she must be found before she burns this whole place to the ground. Away, just stay out of the woods, 'cause she's up to no good unless you're prepared for a fight. 'Cause the witch has the power and it is witching hours, so you're better off elsewhere tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Off the Grill podcast. Another lovely Monday night here with you all, and I am goddamn thankful for it. I appreciate you all so much, probably more than you'll know. I don't say it that much, but I felt that it needed saying. Mostly as I'm really fed up with all the fucking horse shit at work lately. It's not a whole bunch of horse shit. It's one broad. She sucks. She's in management. She shouldn't be. I hate her. That's it. That's all I really have on that. So we're not going to get bogged down in the bullshit and negativity. That kind. It's unproductive negativity. What I generally bring to the table is a very productive sort of zhuzh. But that's enough about me for the week, folks. Because I am bringing on someone that I have been pretty close with on a platonic level for the last 5 years or so. A cat that I think I'm really only familiar with at all because of the pandemic, and same vice versa. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking, of course, the host of Jess Live. Who could it be? The co-owner and proprietor of Cable Channel 11 right here on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm referring to none other than Jess Graham.
Hello.
Shout out.
Actually, only platonically, huh?
Well, I have to keep up appearances.
Oh, yes.
I'm what the African American community refer to as on the DL. But how you been, brother?
I've been good, bro. Been good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I know that we did see each other last week. In a less than ideal circumstance in my case, but
I thought it was a perfect circumstance, but
it was fun nonetheless.
It always, when we get together, it is fun. Hi, everybody in the chat.
Dan right away's got a heater. He says, lockdown. We should all be grateful, Corny Chung, after that bat brought us all together.
That Corny Chung. Oh, my. Yeah, the pandemic, it was it did bring us together, which
It
I'm
was.
very grateful for.
Yeah, that's like the big thing I think to take away from that period is that on a micro level, people were brought closer together. On a macro level, we were probably irreparably separated. But you live some, you win some, you lose some. But we got old Jake with his brand new channel, Rewind or Die. It's still Slaughterport, technically. So if you're a sub to Slaughterport, you're probably over there. But he's got a new video out. I believe it was published this morning, talking about Ghost of Fear Street, which was an abandoned Goosebumps-esque R.L. Stine thing on ABC, I want to say it was. I don't remember. I watched that video before I went to bed, but good to see him in the chat nonetheless. Shout out Dan, Brian Trash in the house, Ben Grimm, and Billy Bean. But yeah, I wanted to have you on here since I decided all of a sudden to change formats.
I know. It's kind of an honor. I don't think I've ever been on the official Off the Grill podcast. I've been on like all your other specials.
Yeah. Like you're well versed in sauce land, but
oh yes,
not necessarily on the Off the Grill podcast. But now that's changed, and I'm fucking happy about it because there was never really any way to do it with the old format. Because the old format was I get angry about something and then just I yell about it for 10 minutes, and then another thing catches me, and then just wrestling for the rest of it. It's fine.
It's still a good format, though. I mean,
it worked for a while, but I think with that long layover, people didn't feel like coming back to it, or it got buried. Which I don't know which is actually the case.
On the YouTube, I think, and
I think after not posting for a while, it doesn't tell anyone that you've posted.
Doesn't give even the little algorithm we might get as it is. It's a mystery still.
Yep, I don't get it.
I think even to some of the bigger channels, it's
got to try to
it's a mystery
hire a man.
Exactly what really gets you to a mass audience.
Because like even if you do the shit that's pulling in numbers, and you do it, Corey, I don't ever want to talk to you again. I'm not even bringing that one up on the screen. But like even when you like copy the shit that the big ones are doing, and like even like the way that they title their videos, you still get shit for traction. The only thing that's worked for me is basically clickbait. Throwing some asshole celebrity's name in the title and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And that's if you can kind of in your show allowed for that, which was kind of cool. I thought of it as like sort of like the old, I don't want to say talk radio, but disc jockey. Like you can carry a show yourself.
Yeah, I try.
You don't need some schmuck to bounce off of if you didn't have one.
Definitely, the first go around, I would say that's the case. A little rusty still, I think. Like the comments, I cannot keep up with those in any meaningful way now.
Dude, I've been doing this for 5 years and it's like I pull up too many, or I leave them on the wrong time, or I'm pulling them up. It just I don't know when to pull them up.
So much of that.
Did I leave somebody out? Because oh man,
you get a fucking private message after the show. Did I do
I don't
something?
get that too much, but no. I don't want to hurt anybody's
no, because it's not.
I get on here to hang out and talk movies and stuff. I'm not trying to make a award-winning show, and the audience we do have, it does feel it's good. It's worth it because they are participating, half of them in the chats.
And it's not like it's like, I guess we do shout everyone out enough that if you get missed once, it's probably nothing. But if all of a sudden 3-4 fucking shows go by and no one's talking to you, take the hint.
Well, I sure as heck wouldn't want to stick around if I'm not,
right.
Nobody digs me.
I'm gonna put on my security jacket.
But
But Dan says, all I know is once Steak gets that Fox Pixar interview, that title belt is coming off Haunted Hippie.
I mean,
I don't know what that
honestly, I
means.
would watch that show for sure. I mean, I watch every show, but it would be curious. I don't know
wonder
if
what
you
I- 'cause-
get much out of it though.
Did he ever? I was going to say, did he ever really talk? It was all
Sounds.
just like
He made sounds
cards.
and said words sometimes, I think.
Would he type the words? Because we were communicating to him somehow on the stream.
Oh, he would hold up pictures,
That's right.
but
Yeah.
oh,
Look, it's airplane too. Double airplane.
but yeah, I think at most he would say like a single word or something off. Yeah.
God, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He did speak. I see. That's such a fever dream. I forgot about that guy. Like,
in full sentences
most
though,
part.
Dan.
yeah.
Did he?
It was Aboriginal. He wanted dirty movies and T-shirts. That's nuts, dude. But yeah. So Jess,
Oh boy.
what is something that just instantly pisses you off? I guess kind of no matter the time of day, what mood you're in, it's just something stupid that'll just flip the switch.
You didn't send my agent this question, so
Ooh.
I was.
Well, that one was one I was hoping would be a little more just, oh, I hate grapes when there's grapes on the ground.
Oh gosh, I get ticked off all the time. I mean, shit, if
Yeah.
the fucking wind changes.
But see, but honestly, Jess, just throw some shit out there then, because that is something that I wouldn't have guessed out of you.
That ticks
You-
me off. No, I mean, I'm exaggerating there. It's
Not that you're like, I'm not.
I
yeah,
can
I'm
be
not thinking you're
irritable.
putting holes in walls, but yeah,
no.
just.
I'm not
I
a
know, is there
morning
like
person.
I fucking dude. I think that's good enough. That's something to build.
Yeah, like right
Mornings
when I
suck.
wake up, especially, it's like just your best
Yeah.
to steer clear. I've gotten better as I've gotten older. But
So
don't-
now, is that purely a morning thing, or like, let's say, I don't know, you got caught on some kind of shitty, like you're working Corey's shift.
No,
you know,
it's
that
purely
overnight
it's
thing.
just a morning
It's-
thing. I'm a night
okay,
person
so-
naturally. I mean,
right.
yeah.
So like,
it's
you wake up 4 PM, you're gonna be, oh, okay, time
mostly,
to
yeah.
just, what's up, bud? What's
Well,
up?
now
sweetheart?
I got to take a
YouTube
little bit
channel?
of that back. I think some of it is just I don't like to wake up.
Yeah, no, who does?
Yeah.
Everything's perfect in Dreamland.
Yeah. But in general, it's just I look at it as mornings because, yeah, I don't like getting up early.
No, and because I'll say just personally that I do. God damn it, Dan. But
Sorry, that's funny too.
Jake's
at
was
my-
good too. Yeah,
I holler out the window as a joke. Get off my lawn, and kids on the playground and stuff.
Dan says, I'm not reading it. I'll throw it on there now.
Oh, now I got.
We got to watch some of that shit, I guess, especially the
No, we can't. That's not true.
Brian says wake and bake. I can't do that, man. I don't know, like that kind of that sets the mood for the day to be just you sit. We're gonna have an indoor day.
Yeah, I mean, if there's
To
work
wake
to
and
be
bake.
done, in general, that's a no-no. I'd say.
Yeah.
Save it for after the work's done.
Yeah, and just because then you can party. You got nothing to worry about. There's no anxiety that's gonna sneak up on you.
Yep. And you've almost earned it because you've done something productive.
Yeah.
Things are taken care of.
I can shut my brain off now.
Mm-hmm.
Jake says drugs are bad. Them twisted teas ain't drugs.
Them legal drugs.
What is? Ooh. No. What is a movie that you irrationally love? Like that's maybe not very well made, or like it could be fun. It doesn't have to be a piece of shit, but like just something that's maybe not like universally loved that you can't quit. Hey, maybe it's
Oh,
Brokeback Mountain.
That's a good one. No, I don't know if it's not universally loved,
It's
but there's
fine.
movies like that that aren't really meant for me. Say, I have The Devil Wears Prada.
Hmm.
It's almost like a one of 100 comfort. I could watch that over and over, and it's kind of weird because
Oh,
it's
shit.
like, what the fuck would I have?
That is a very weird one for you.
I don't know
certainly
why.
wouldn't guess
It
that,
just.
but let's
But there's lots of movies like
street,
that.
right?
You know, I am a film buff, and
Oh,
there's
there's a
some
lot of
weird
cool movies,
ones,
man.
and then there's ones that everybody else loves, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I think if I remember, I threw a couple questions like that in there. Maybe if I stop sliding down like a fucking
Like,
mole person.
Was it Richard Dreyfuss?
On Club Random,
Yes.
new rule: no chairs.
It'll be by the end of this interview.
Oh my god! Wow, Dan, wow, this is history. Dan says, Jess, you are the first man I know who has watched The Devil Wears Prada. Even I haven't seen that one.
Wow. So that was a good one to throw out
That
there
was-
because I mean I
oh,
have
yeah.
hundreds in my head. Yeah,
And now
I
just-
have a movie that Dan Shine hasn't seen, and I've watched
That's
it multiple
crazy.
times.
And you know what? It's nuts. It's not even like an obscure one. You didn't like,
No.
well, I made this home video in my backyard. You haven't seen that, Dan. Wow, that's crazy. Brian Trash says Wizard of Oz he never gets sick of.
That's a good one. I've seen that
Yeah, man,
countless
that's
times.
That's a heater too. I remember, I am old enough, so I know you are,
Oh yeah.
of when that was like a big deal every year when CBS would play The Wizard of
Yep.
Oz. Like that was for kids anyway. That was kind of like appointment viewing.
I don't even think I mean my mom especially, but parents. It was I think everybody in the family. It was
Yeah.
an event.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like that nice family thing, and
And
that
we have
went
a
away at some
VHS
point.
of in the 80s recorded of that.
Oh yeah,
Plus later bought in the 90s, I think, a copy, but yeah, still have it.
I
I think.
grabbed with some of that old pandemic money. I grabbed a 4K copy of that fucker.
Nice.
Still doing me proud.
That's
Shout
probably
out
almost
to
like
that.
watching a play.
Oh yeah, shout out to that pandemic money. No, like that's the thing is, I think that 4K stuff really just shows how hard they worked on fucking sets back then. Like just the fucking it's because there's some stuff from like the 80s that on a nicer TV or a nicer copy of the film, it looks like sets. It looks like fucking, and some of it is like your TV settings or whatever. You can fix some of it, but a lot of times, a lot of those, like I think Jason Lives in particular, I saw once. I don't know, maybe it was a DVD copy or some shit, but it looked like a fucking soap opera. Like just Young and the Restless with Tom.
I really
Tom
do hate it
Matthews.
that way, though. Give me the
Awful.
cinematic filter.
Yep. Let me look. I don't want to look at it in like whatever QuickTime 2.6.
Yeah, it's
horse shit. Like
there's technical
we
names
blurred all
for
the
it
edges.
and
Yeah.
jargon, but give me the 24 frame rate. Give me the filters. I don't need it clear enough to see everybody's pores.
No, not really. No, like there's some stuff that maybe like the digital effects or whatever are really nice and they really do pop on 4K or whatever. They look better than they would, or even like physical effects. I think if they're done right, they look better. But and I guess post that it's just cinematography stuff, and it's really dork fucking like cinema nerd, camera nerd, film school guys. Which whatever. That's probably would have been me if I had realized soon enough. But
which newer movies could or should do, I think, adapt to that more. Different makeups, different sets, and how they go about lighting. But you do that to old movies sometimes, and it's like you've removed some of that.
Yeah, I do think though, if I recall, there's a couple like older, maybe it's Dracula or something in that that realm of black and white, that some of the sets are kind of like just we stacked a bunch of shit here. You can't really see it. It's fine. Watch Bella. He's talking. He's doing something fun. But now there's people like us that are pause it. See, look in the background. There's a can of Pennzoil. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
No, I get you.
Just
It's on that banister. It's not supposed to be there.
yeah. But, all right, I hit you with this. Not you. I hit Jake with this last week,
Oh god.
and this is going to be a surprise. What's your sauce box for? 4 movies right now. Your favorite movies currently. Just first 4 you think of, essentially.
Oh god.
This isn't-
Nightmare on Elm Street. This is like Barbara Walters
Oh
hitting me with all of the tough ones. It's like picking
Ba, ba,
your
wa,
favorite
wa.
child to me, I always say, and
Yeah,
I've
man.
said for a long time with movies, but Nightmare on Elm Street's usually up there because that's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. God, I can't 4 favorites. Goodfellas. I just watched that
Hell yeah.
recently.
That was a through line with the last week.
Trying to think Dumb and Dumber's probably one of my favorite
Okay.
comedies of all time.
Here we go.
Uh,
We're learning tonight.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of different genres to throw at you. I mean, Star Wars, Empire
Why not?
Strikes Back specifically.
That's, I think,
Is that 4?
the good. Yeah, it is 4. and that's
I
a good
could go
one,
on
too.
and on. I can't. I kid you not.
Yeah, it is. It's hard, and the more movies I watch, obviously, the harder it gets. But like, because now there's shit that I don't know, I didn't really like that before, but I've seen this now, and now that makes more sense. And not even shit that's related, just kind of like, oh, that's what they were trying for, and I didn't get it then, but now I do. Holy
But now
shit,
you
this
do,
is
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So, Dan's got a good one here.
Favorite scene in Dumb
What's
and
your
Dumber?
favorite scene from Dumb and Dumber?
I love it because you laugh through damn near the whole movie, or I do at least, and it's so quotable. But the first one that always pops in my head is Jeff Daniels' shitting scene. And I've had to go I ran out late 90s and had to have my brother and sister, we were on vacation, had them pull over to this random hotel, and I had to go in their lobby bathroom and take a shit. I gotta take a Jeff Daniels, and it was, I don't know. And I did. But that whole movie is quotable. Like I mean, it may not even be the funny. It must. I laugh harder at other scenes, but that moment sticks out.
I know when I was little, 2, 3, 4 years old, I watched it a lot. Just we had it on tape. Official VHS, mind you, I think as well.
Oh yeah.
The only thing it's kind of drilled into my or into my brain, the most annoying sound in the world.
Yes.
Like,
see again, you can say another scene. I'm like, oh, that scene.
Yeah.
Same with the movies in the chat when you brought up Wizard of Oz. Somebody
Wizard of
say something
Oz.
else and be like, yes, that's another one. Put it on my list.
Dan brought that up, but I don't think he was talking to us. Dr. Caligari, which I believe is a remake from The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which was a silent movie from the 20s. I think. Maybe it's a different thing, just whatever. Who knows?
I'm not sure if I've seen that or not. I know of it, though. I know that name.
I thought I had another little guy here. All right. Well, speaking of VHS tapes, do you happen to remember the first one you owned?
Oh, first VHS I owned?
Yeah, and that could be family or personal. I'm not picky.
Absolute first, no. But some of the earlier ones was E.T., Santa Claus the movie.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's
and
not
of course we
the
taped a lot
Santa
off
Claus.
TV. Not the Santa Claus, but Santa Claus the movie with John Lithgow.
Gotcha.
1985, I think. Yeah, I mean, and then there's plenty that we taped off of the TV.
Hell yeah, man! Like, because again, that's another fucking thing that kids now have. Like, it's like the generation after us, I would say. My kids born in the 80s and early first half of the 90s. Anyway, 15 years or so. That seems about right. Maybe a little bigger, a little shorter, but cool. Yeah, they don't understand recording shit off the TV like via VHS. Like they don't understand VHS.
Not on a physical, yeah.
No, but even the generation like after us don't really understand taping them from just broadcast TV. But they get the idea of VHS. But like your kid, my kid, the fuck's a tape?
Yeah, my kid only knows because I've taught him like it's history out of our cabinets. Okay, and
he's not like there's a drawer full of ones that she has because I don't have any. It's just like Disney ones, I guess. But I don't know that if you said VHS tape, he would have any clue to look in there. Huh. Fuck's that. So I don't know.
It's scary, but I guess I get it. Oh,
yeah.
Ben.
Time moves.
Ben, I think said something like Turtles 3 was his first VHS.
Is that the Chinese one? The back in time one?
Yeah.
I think
the original one I did save up for, or like I bought myself. I think that was the first one I bought myself.
Nice. The original. Did you have to send away for it?
No, but it was a Music Land in the mall, which would be like Sam Goody nationwide.
Oh yeah,
the same company.
Yeah. Oh no shit.
And yeah, I pre-ordered in the store. But I had Roger Rabbit on cassette tape that was bought. I got
that's cool.
Christmas and shit. Oh, yeah. So yeah,
always accumulate stuff as kids.
Yeah,
get that shit going. And you always end up with some weird shit. Like I think one of the weird ones that I had that I immediately tried to lose and couldn't. They would just always show back up was like a VeggieTales tape, and like it was something to do with like the pharaohs of Egypt or some shit, if I'm not mistaken. Like the Jews, the palette, like the Philistines. I don't. All of that stuff is lost on me. That whole story. I don't know.
That's interesting. I mean, that was after my time, but
yeah.
That dude, the dude who invented that is from my hometown.
No shit.
Yeah. I don't know him. It was, I think, before he left, before my era too.
Yeah. It's just an old bachelor, confirmed bachelor, we'll say. Oh, where? Billy says his first VHS tape he purchased was Run DMC, Tougher Than Leather.
Nice.
Brian says Dan's first VHS probably was porn. He says no, but the 85 classic parody, The Poonies, was my first adult film. That's fucked up. You can't be making porn out of kids' movies. The Boner Before Time.
No, please don't.
I got one. I got one better. The Clam Before Time.
No. Okay. No. Don Bluth.
Yes.
God, no.
It's no good. It's no good. Oh. Jake says I just bought my kids some Sesame Street VHS tales. Gotta raise them right. Hell yeah. The veggie.
You can't go wrong with classic Sesame Street.
No, I like the new woke one. I like that Elmo is like a trans species.
I wasn't gonna get too deep.
Racist. It's weird. Well, they're trying to toe the line. Like they're doing this whole weird liberal sexuality.
Oh, they really are.
But then doubling down with the hardcore right racism. Like, Elmo's tucking it back and then just letting off N-bombs.
So it's not good either way. Either side.
No one's happy now.
No. You mind if I smoke?
No, go ahead, man. Listen, this isn't monetized and it never will be. You do what you got to do. Cigarettes, marijuana, it's all good. But Billy says
try to smoke in front of the kids.
Oh, sure. I don't think they're allowed to watch this show. But Billy says back in the 80s, tapes were expensive to buy new movies. You bought them used from the rental place for $10 to $20. Yeah, my grandfather growing up was I was born in 92, so like the era of them being as expensive as they were to begin with was kind of over. They might have been 20 or 30 bucks a piece, brand new. Maybe 40, but I doubt it.
No,
But
probably.
he had,
I was gonna say 20 to 30 by then, by the
yeah.
90s.
But he had, it was a copy of, I believe it's Deep Space. It's a Fred Olen Ray movie with Charles Napier and I don't know, maybe one or two other notable names, but it was the thing was like printed on the side, like on the box. It wasn't a sticker or anything. $89.95. I'm like, how? That didn't make any sense to me. I don't think he paid that. So he didn't have a fucking clue either. It's nuts though.
Well, you now know. I mean, well, they didn't really retail them. They did and they didn't. They were usually pretty special though. But like
Yeah.
mainly they were intended to like sell the video stores to rent.
Just to the yeah.
So they were
okay.
$89 to $120 on average for a while
For
there.
Eustace and Muriel, as they set up their home video.
Yeah. And even into the 90s, but it was more like because video stores, they might have given them to them first. And then they released them to the public a little while later.
Yeah. A different version.
Yeah.
Dan says Deep Space is on Blu-ray now. Actually, I think it was Drew that told me that way back. I think probably fucking last time I told this story, and I picked it up. Not a bad little movie. It's kind of like a, I don't know, your typical Alien ripoff kind of mid-'80s cheap movie, except it's on Earth, not in space, but same kind of thing.
I kind of remember. I remember the box at least. I'm sure I've seen it. Deep Space.
Yeah, it's a real dark. There's like a half-naked broad that's just kind of being approached by a shape of some kind. It's standard fare, really.
Yes. And we were talking about prices. That reminded me of a Christmas gift or something my dad gave my mom, and would have been, I'm guessing, 1989 because it was the 50th anniversary of Gone with the Wind. Ooh. And it was this. I'm gonna set myself on fire. It was this box about this size, and it had 2 cassette tapes, but it had like a booklet, and it was a Gone with the Wind 50th anniversary special edition. And that sucker, I remember him paying. It would have been at least $89.99, if not higher than that. And I was like just shocked, and so that was a big deal.
I'm trying to think because that sounds so goddamn familiar to me. If like my dad might have had that, or probably not, man.
Yeah,
but no, I don't. It wasn't that big.
Almost looked like
it was probably just like that. Yeah, big like box. How like Scarface. I'm having a stroke.
I do that too.
Scarface or Casino. Titanic, all those single movies that were 2 tapes, and they were so long. That's probably more along the lines of what I'm trying to remember. But Billy says though, if you were rich and had 2 VHS players, you could copy them up into the 90s. Oh yeah, with you rent shit from the video store. So this was, I don't know, Holy Man, Bowfinger, Life. I think were all in the mix somewhere. Simon Birch was in there.
I like Simon Birch.
That's a good fucking movie, right? No one talks about it.
No, they don't.
God. Fucking sad too. That's one of the, I think, probably the first movies personally that made me cry. And I was like 8, 9, maybe 10.
I probably got misty-eyed.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm not like you might guess that wrong, but I'm not a huge crier in general. But you get a Bell South commercial or a good movie, and
the grandchild just wanted to talk to his grandmother. Oh,
yeah,
I miss my grandma. But yeah, so he bought the second VCR from Walmart, rented a bunch of movies, bought tapes, or we had them, I don't know, whatever it was. And then he just, sat through and just recorded them one after another, filled up the tape, got a new tape, kept going, and then returned the VCR at the end of the weekend. like
Clever
about the
idea.
same time that the rentals had to go back. He was a real piece of shit. He's just like an urchin. He just fucking scratched and clawed and got by. And I kind of hated him for it. Only because it just seemed like he always fucking would do just enough to get out of trouble, whether it was panhandling for money or for food or going 65 and a 30 and then getting a fucking seatbelt ticket before those mattered. It's
Wow.
goes on a coke or a crack bender. He wasn't cool enough to do coke. He smoked it like a homo. Fucking totaled his like 2011 Hyundai Elantra. It was brand new at the time. So this is another one that he totaled and had no scratches on him. But the motor was on the opposite side of the road as the rest of the car. Whatever happened, he was fine. But now he shits himself and can barely talk because he shambles up and down the street. So maybe that's okay. He got what was coming to him in the end. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Oh, boy. But, Jess, I feel like you're not the same kind of guy.
I try not to be.
I'm trying to find it. I don't know. I can't find it, so we'll either ignore it or come back to it. But I would say
Roldy?
that.
Sorry.
Whoa, we got Roldy in the
I
house
haven't
now?
seen him in a while on.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Yes.
What's up, brother? Good to see. I might just see if I can sneak him on here.
That'd
if
be
he's
great.
up for it. But
Sorry,
I know
sorry.
that you would.
Good
No,
guy.
no. I was stuck. Oh, good. Dan, what an asshole. I'll be damned the Simon Birch actor isn't dead. Wouldn't have bet on that. You know what? Not for nothing. I got to agree with Dan there. Little guy like that, got to be some kind of tragic demise. But if he's still plugging along, that's fucking great news.
I think I looked that up a couple years ago. He was doing well.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe he grew up. They hit a growth spurt at 45.
I don't know if that happened.
But
Thank goodness we're on this late.
yeah.
Oh wait, that doesn't work like the old TV days.
Oh no.
They'll replay this over and over.
So I think you and I are both Freddy Krueger forward, kind of as horror fans. Which, you know,
Yes.
we're growing up, I would never really would have guessed it, but we're in the minority, I think, overall. There are certainly more Halloween fans, certainly more Friday the 13th fans. So out of the big three, I mean, anyway, not like, obviously there are people like fucking, you know, pounding the desk for Leprechaun. That's like 17 people, and one of them's Jake. So,
but that, you got it right, the big three. And that was, I'm glad you finished that question. You're right. I wouldn't have thought we would have been in the minority when it came to like Halloween and Friday the 13th. Because I thought, because the 80s, Freddy ruled. He had more of a presence on TV and phone. You know, he was on MTV a lot. Phone lines, toys,
little pajamas.
Yeah, not as
Valium
much as the
over
other
in
two.
Russia. But yeah, it does. It really does seem like that. Like the other two are everywhere. Like I feel like
now,
definitely
especially.
not. Like I can't speak to the 80s at all.
Sorry.
But like growing up, I never would have thought, oh, I guess you probably, I just like Freddy more. I know you guys like Jason. Like, it never would have even like stuck into my head. But Billy says I always like Krueger over the other two. Well, you have taste. You're smart.
You do.
But Jake's all down for that Leprechaun love, baby. These movies aren't good, but they aren't a bad time at all. They're almost all of them are fun.
And honestly, they played a big part in my youth. It was like, a new horror movie. That's kind of cool. And it's got a sequel now. It became a franchise. The Leprechaun does rank up there. It's not in the big three.
No,
but it ranks
10.
up there.
Because I think if you expanded it out, Chucky beats him.
But he could make a top 10 horror icon.
Yeah, for sure. Chainsaw would beat him out. just all whatever.
If you're doing the
Leatherface
Mount
and
Rushmore, to me it is you have the big three, and then
Yeah.
it'd probably have to be Leatherface.
Leatherface. Yeah, Leatherface
As the
would clear
fourth.
Chucky too. I said them out of order. Pinhead, I think, would probably clear Leprechaun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's iffy. But
I
if we're
mean,
not talking
personally,
movies, just
he doesn't.
characters.
Yeah, if we're
Yeah. That might actually be a fun long form episode. Try to remember that. Kind of finding where like first of all figuring out how many actual icons there are, and then finding their fucking rank in the
place,
pecking order.
that would be a long show.
That's fair. Jake says I think Chucky over Leatherface as far as pop culture.
For the longest time until deeper into my adulthood, I would have ranked Chucky personally over Leatherface.
Yeah, as a whole, I think I still would. I hate Texas Chainsaw 2 personally.
Oh,
It's a corny movie, and it really feels like the more I read about it, hear about it, whatever about it. Toby Hooper didn't want to make it and just kind of went, go fuck yourself. Here's this. It sucks. I don't care. I don't know if that's true. It's just my read on it. I've not seen him talk about it, but I don't like it. I think it's corny. It's over the top in all the wrong kind of ways. It is this close to being, hey, look how bad this movie is. Look how bad we made this movie. And like, that's the worst kind of movie making. When that
I still
shit
think
happens
it's
on
in the
accident,
top 3 of that entire franchise, though.
well, that might be true, but the first movie is unfuckwithable. It's incredible. It's fucked up, and I don't know. You're not as big into wrestling as like some of the rest of us, but
Yeah.
when you can get more reaction off doing less, you're doing your job the right way.
I mean,
now,
that's true.
If you
I think
can't get
film,
a
especially
reaction,
horror in general,
if you
scary.
can't get a reaction without jumping off a fucking balcony through a flaming table that's covered in glass, it's too much. You know, it's fucking, you're not getting anything real. It's nothing you're doing. It's just that spectacle. And that's fine for a minute. But 3 is boring. It really, like, they don't know what they were trying to do.
Excuse
with
me. I was just going to
Leatherface.
say, for the longest time,
Jesus.
3 was my favorite.
Whoa.
Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Yeah. I think it's it's a waste of Ken Foray. Mostly.
I think it is.
That's
and
my biggest beef.
I get a lot of people would argue with me on that because it is your generic, almost not slasher film. But to me, that's what I wanted.
It was New Line going, fuck, we paid for it. Put it out. Just something. Now, The Next Generation, I think, is probably the second best movie in the franchise.
I wouldn't go that far, but I like it more than anything after it. I do.
Yeah,
it's grown on me.
I don't like the remake. I never saw its sequel. I don't dislike the remake. I should.
I was gonna say it's grown less and less on me over the years. I liked it when it first came out a lot.
And I'm the opposite. I hated it, and now I'm kind of, it's all right.
You kind of like it.
Yeah.
Well, we've probably aligned about where we like it, though. Then.
Yeah.
I hated its sequel, the beginning.
3D
was a disappointment. It was confusing.
But it had 4 terrific reasons to finish it, and maybe watch it a couple more times.
Maybe
Daddario and the Krellboyne girl all grown up. Did you watch Malcolm in the Middle when you were a kid?
I did.
Do you remember when his fucking nerd class got a girl?
No.
Shit. Well, they did.
I was still, I guess you could call me a kid.
Yeah.
It's at my late
2000.
I was an adult, technically. I'm old.
Yeah, so. God, you're 10 years older than me?
I'm 10 years. I think I'm a decade older than you. Perhaps 92? Maybe even a little more.
82?
81.
81.
Beginning of 81.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And I'm 3/4 through 92.
I'm tail in the end of, I'm the tail end of, I consider Generation X. A lot of
brother, you're going to be
cut me off, but
yeah, you're going to be living with Billy soon. I would say you are damn near the eldest millennial, but I think it's 80 to 95 is what
I'm beginning 81, and I also had older siblings. I was the baby, so I had a brother who's 5.5 years older than me and a sister who's 9 years older than me. So I felt like I really did experience the 80s too.
And that's how I feel. My mom was 17 when I was born, 16 when I was conceived. Naughty. So I did grow up kind of in a similar fashion. Like I was just swaddled in 90s culture, you know.
You were in the
Yeah, it's without even realizing, you know, like same with you. It's just, well, yeah, of course you fucking just go home and watch MTV.
Yeah. That
Play
was
with
on in our
Freddy or
house a
whatever.
lot. And not just because my sister and brother, but honestly, my parents liked it in that age too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, because early MTV, I think that was an issue, is that it was still very white. If you weren't Michael Jackson, like Michael Jackson was the one that kind of like
Yeah.
Thriller, Beat It,
I mean,
Billie Jean,
there was
Off the
some
Wall, even like because that album came
there was
first.
some great stuff all around of all, would you say, cultures and on MTV in the 80s. There really was.
Yeah.
I almost said Lionel Richie, but I don't know if that
What?
helped my argument.
Yeah, like because like yeah, that's I don't know. That's a half point.
I have to search because I don't think of things like that, Steak. You know, I just
Yeah, of course. Oh, look at this. Corey from Cable Channel 11. Two of my favorite people, he says.
Well,
That's
flattery
so
will get you far.
Whoa. So when, though, did Elm Street kind of click for you?
I was 5 years old.
No shit. Yeah, that early.
So
Huh?
it was
Now
early it was early on in its video
totally
release.
nice.
Even my sister left it for my parents to watch because they like horror movies too. They like movies. And I, of course, begged to watch it. And they let me. And I was terrified, but I loved it from the moment on. I remember the poster and the second one in the theater, in our theater. I remember seeing that well and thinking how creepy that was.
You got to see that in the theater?
I didn't get to see a Freddy. I would have been
okay.
too scared, admittingly. I didn't see a Freddy
In the
movie till
theater.
Freddy's Dead. But I was 10
Okay.
years old in Freddy's Dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Even so.
Wow. So, I mean, what I'll say, though, is the only reason I asked is because I saw Bride of Chucky. I guess that would have been, what, 5.5 prize? I don't think it was. When did that come out? I'm not going to look it up. It'll take too long. But yeah, so I was either 5 or 6 when that came out, and I got to see it. I went with my piece of shit stepfather, but got to see Chucky on the big screen once, so that was cool.
That's pretty cool. And you were that young.
Yeah.
Because the theater, I mean, obviously enhances that more.
Right.
So it's.
And I was, like I said, you know, like my mom was 17 when I was born. So she was young. She worked a lot too. I think at night. So like if I was just happened to be up, she was sleeping. She wouldn't know. Like I threw Tales from the Crypt on Fox on a couple times, I know, and that scared the shit out of me. The not like the episode, just the wrapper, like the wraparound, the entry or the opening credits. You know, because when I was that age,
house castle,
I would sit with my grandparents and watch the opening through an Afghan for when, you know, the crypt keeper jumped out of the casket. Got to be able to see it a little bit. So what is your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street sequel, though?
Favorite sequel is 3. That's kind of a boring answer.
That's
general. You know.
It's the right answer, though. I think if it's that as boring as that one is, it's just because it's right.
Yeah.
So, you know, no harm, no foul there. Now, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's just a fucking good movie, I think. And I move the others around so much. They've all had different places, except 1 and 3, I think, have always been where they are. The first movie is the favorite, and 3's close second. The ensemble, I think the timing of the movie, it just hit right. Everything hit right with it. A little bit more humor.
I can't fault you, man.
It's just,
It's just
boring answer, but it's fucking true.
It is. It's just, ooh, this is interesting.
You know, Freddy's Revenge has climbed since it's possibly my third favorite, just because that's scary still. The look of Freddy is probably the best.
Yeah. So I think I would go just top. I'm not going to do all of them, but I would
Yeah.
go 3, 1, 2, 4. And then after that, it's a pretty steep drop off before we start talking about the rest. Because
Gotcha.
like 5 is mixed bag.
Fair.
6 is even more mixed. New Nightmare. Yeah. Like they all are hits and misses. But for me, even 4, people start, they talk about how Freddy is, oh, he's just MTV Freddy and he's joking. Yeah, a little bit. It's not till 5 where all that shit really just goes out the window and he's just wacky.
There's still some very
WKRG
scary shit in 4.
Yeah. And he is making jokes a little bit, but he's not a stand-up comedian yet. It's it's ironic, like, I crushed the bitch in a roach motel. Let me hit it with a tagline. There's
not one in the main movies, the Robert Englund movies, that I dislike, though.
No.
So
some aren't as good as others.
No,
but that's
true.
To be expected. But hey, at least all their bad ones are the end of this. Like they're fucking, there's a clear delineation between the cream of the crop and then everything else.
Yeah.
Friday and Halloween, I think it fluctuates a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of up and down.
You watch this, you got to wait a couple more movies for the next best, the next best one. And
yeah, I think Brian said it earlier that they're the most consistent in the series, in out of the franchises.
Yeah, I think so.
But the first one's the best. They're all entertaining. It seems just that we are right, even if the population at large is not.
That's all that matters.
Dan says 5 sucks, 6 sucks, 7 doesn't suck, but it's boring. Shut up, Dan. I agree with 7 is boring. That one is probably dropped the most out of all. Fuck,
it's dropped over time for me, but I still love it. I have my moments with it too.
Yeah. What's dropped the most for you?
Of that franchise?
Yeah.
Possibly 7, because for a long time, because it was Wes, because of the experience I had, it was ranked up there pretty high.
Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason, maybe 2 has dropped more than I used to think of it. But I still love them. I still love them. And 6 is totally not scary as it is. It was the perfect Freddy movie for me to see in the theaters with my parents when I'm 10 years old.
So how fucked up is it then that I brought him to see Dawn of the Dead in theaters?
Yours?
Mike, yeah.
Yeah.
10 years also 10.
Nah, he's at a good age that's not. It's scary. I hope for him.
It's
in a
scary
way.
Enough. He doesn't seem to get scared, but I started to get worried about him being scared, and just because I also know that I just, without knowing, I knew that if I told my mom I was scared, she wouldn't let me watch him.
Same here.
So I wonder if that's part of it. But like when we do a movie night on Wednesdays, just because my schedule now, it's kind of just a time saving thing or spending thing.
That's a great thing to do.
I'm trying to do it so that there's a non-horror that's like the second of the double feature. So like last week we watched Summer Rental after Candyman
with John Candy.
Yeah, so we did Candyman and then John Candy. That's fun. But he liked that one a bunch. He likes John Candy. John Candy and Adam Sandler comedically are like his guys so far. Farley a little bit is in that mix. Because speaking of, yeah, he does for the most part. Not with music. Imagine Dragons and like new Eminem. Not good Eminem, new Eminem.
Could be worse. What you just said, though,
Sure.
There could be a lot worse.
But it could be a lot better too.
Well, yeah.
What was I saying? But anyway, oh shit. Actually, Dan, Great Outdoors is on tap for this Wednesday.
Great Outdoors, saw that in the theater with my parents. Love that movie.
Nice.
Love that movie.
I think Billy's behind. Billy, that's why I'm not really talking to you much today, because we're trying to move on.
Hello.
But because I was so excited, I think, to just talk with Jacob, about the shit we were talking about. I did not tell anyone what the movie of the week last week was, so you guys have to do 2 this week. Last week's was supposed to be Beverly Hills Ninja. Chris Farley's, I think, last movie that he got to see premiere.
Yeah, because he didn't Almost Heroes.
Or
It's probably best.
was that because Wagons East is the one with John Candy, right?
The Wagons East is the one with John Candy. Almost Heroes is
and-
Farley.
It's just the same kind of movie, right?
Yeah,
Kind of a weird, funny old West one that they didn't really get to see.
that they didn't get to see and really wasn't as funny as it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
think
both of
partially because isn't that fucking creepy?
those. I always thought that was a very eerie coincidence.
Yeah, all that shit, and like that thing where like Abraham Lincoln had someone named Kennedy in his cabinet, and Kennedy had a Lincoln. Oh, cool. Whatever. Shut up.
1860s, 1960s assassination, the first and the last. Whoa, dude. Okay.
All right. Here's one. I think I sent this one to you. Actually, quicker one. What's the most slept on Freddie moment or line? Could be a phrase too. It doesn't have to be.
Oh, what's the most slept on?
Yeah.
Freddie
People
line?
don't talk about it, but
Well, that's
rocks.
a good question. Might have to give me like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's
By
a
all
good
means,
one.
but so I'll just shit this out. Beverly Hills Ninja. It's on Hulu currently. Watch it. My kid actually fucking liked that one a bunch. And it was better than I remembered it being. Chris Rock is in it for here and there. He's got a small part. He's funny. Robin, I can't think of his name, but Liu Kang for Mortal Kombat 95. It's a good time, solid little story. It's someone I think he pointed it out. It's kind of like Chinese or was it Japanese? Chinese. Karate's Chinese. Beverly Hills Ninja. Ninjas are Japanese. They didn't know what they were doing either. I don't have to be correct. It's kind of like Elf. And that hurt my heart, but he's not wrong. Because it's just this big fat white baby that's given to, ninjas, as opposed to a big white weirdo given to elves and Santa, He grows up with people that aren't really of his kind, and I don't know. I sure you're an elf, buddy. I don't know. Whatever. I felt it was right. I was proud of him. Good movie. Go watch it. And while we're at it, this week's Jess, I should have waited on Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, but I didn't think about it. So this week's 1975's Assault on Precinct 13.
Ooh.
John Carpenter's second best movie. It's a heater. It's quick. I think it's like 90 minutes on the nose almost. It is down. It's dirty. It's 4 or 5 people in a fucking building being just closed in on by an LA gang.
It's been a while. I might need to watch it again, but I know it's a good one.
Great cast, and the 3 leads are in like almost nothing else, and I don't get why. I forget the cat's name, but the white guy, he plays the prisoner. So much charisma. That guy could have starred in any. Like, I'm shocked that like he didn't at least star in some other Carpenter thing. See?
Carpenter. That's going to be a name in a movie now. Got to write that down.
Nancy Loomis is in it for a little bit. Charles Cyphers is in it. Like, so you'll see some of those early John Carpenter collab guys in that too. It's but it's really tense and fucking just dirty, and there's some fucked up shit that happens early on. Just like some stuff that's really like, hey, these guys are bad, and they're not movie bad, they're real life bad. Like they're just fucking whoever and whatever we got to do. But sorry.
No, I loved it.
So that's that. Check it out. Watch it. Let me know in the comments how you felt. We'll be back with more of those next week. Jess, you're so damn easy to talk to. We could probably fill out another hour. But I do want to. Ooh, let's do this.
I was thinking your questions are so thought-provoking and profound, and my answers are like derpity derp.
Nah, you're doing enough, man. Like, that's the thing. You don't want to get caught up trying to give this profound answer.
That's the problem.
know.
I'm sitting here. Yeah, you think too
And
hard
then-
on it, and then I'm like,
I like beans.
yeah. Dude.
You know,
Some
just
beans. I want beans with ketchup.
All right, so this is the big one.
I get a tender rabbit steak.
What is all right? Let me rephrase this in my head. You get the keys to the franchise. What's your Elm Street pitch?
Oh, for now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's say I'll make it a little easier. Let's say Robert Englund is in fighting shape and can do it.
I don't think he has to
correct.
be. I can shoot him, close up, standing still, saying his lines, and just do stunt doubles for action. Who gives a shit about that? And Freddy doesn't.
I worry though that he looks a little too pudgy in that old man kind of way, though.
Yeah, I get you, and that showed on the Goldbergs.
Yes,
I think it can be filmed in ways that you can make it work and him not look. That's television, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's true.
Good cinematographer.
They're not spending as much time.
The immediate route, what you'd go today, is very sad.
Yeah.
And I don't like it because I want a sequel that continues where the franchise left off that I love. But you'd almost have to pitch a legacy sequel today. I don't know. Do we bring back Nancy? Because Heather Langenkamp's down for it.
I don't think you do that.
that 3 was a dream.
She's a little old.
Was 3 a dream?
Mm.
Does he still haunt Nancy?
I mean, maybe you could pull off a legacy sequel running just off New Nightmare and be an asshole. But yeah, otherwise you would have
I don't
to,
think
you
I'd
would
want to
have
do New Nightmare again. I wouldn't want to rehash coming into the real world. I think that was a gem ahead of its time of its own. And yes, some slightly boring, but we got Freddy at that time when I thought Freddy was dead. And it was a clever way to bring him back without saying Freddy's dead didn't happen.
We lied.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I guess that's a good point from you. You can't really retcon everyone's favorite sequel.
No.
And
I know a lot of people probably say, we'll bring Alice back.
I
love Alice,
pitch,
but
she's one of my favorite final girls.
Did she get out? Because I look at by part 6, Freddy's dead. He had wiped out.
Yeah,
everybody, all the teenagers in Elms. He got revenge. He wouldn't have just left her.
I'm gonna need you to co-pilot for a minute.
Okay,
just run this thing.
I haven't been drinking. Hello, everybody. I'm having a good time. Not. Oh. Hey, what's that? What? It's horrible. Sorry. So how's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? You guys have had some good questions. Wife called and he forgot to catch up. That's why Billy was behind. Well, that's cool. It's cool. I've done that too. I'll be watching a live stream and somehow it's slowed down and I'll start responding in the chat to something that happened 10 minutes earlier. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Favorite TV shows? I see that question, and I don't know if I should answer that before Stay gets here or not, but I mean, do you want favorite TV shows? It's kind of like movies too. I've got TV shows in all times that I just love. I'm gonna save one I always go to as far as sitcoms go, but some of the more modern ones, The Office, Big Bang Theory, Entourage. Gosh, Entourage. And I didn't think I was gonna like Entourage when I first watched it because I was like, I live out here in Hollywood. I don't like attitudes in general. That kind of. But I fell in love with the show.
That's interesting because I watched some of the movie. Now I'm sure you need to watch the show. I watched some of that movie and I'm like,
the movie is not that good. Honestly.
Okay, yeah,
the movie is not. I was so disappointed because I don't even think it felt like the characters completely.
Oh, really?
like the show, how it went.
Because I was gonna watch it. I think it was Little Stinkers was doing a watch along for it, so I wanted to watch it just to see what it was. Decided I'll just listen to them talk about it.
Yeah, that to a fan of the show, even the movie, which is kind of a continuation, they just to me they did it wrong. Is definitely not gonna hook somebody to the show if you just watch the movie.
Yeah,
because it's not. Yeah. And Roseanne is one of my favorite sitcoms of all time.
Hell yeah,
And
man.
I knew I had to save that one for when you were back.
Definitely. So I think I do think it's going to turn into us having to have a part 2 here. But
oh gosh,
because
I
I
sure?
don't want to. Oh yeah, I don't want to keep you forever.
Oh, I don't care.
I'm not wrapping up yet, but I have so much shit to talk about. And
Still? All right.
still,
well, keep it going.
we have
man.
a lot. But did you ever come up with anything for that most slept on Freddy moment?
One popped in my head, and I don't even know if it's something anybody else appreciate, but I got a kick out of the Will scene when he's in the wheelchair in part 3. Oh, Will, you look tired. Have a seat. And then I don't believe in fairy tales.
That whole
Sorry,
thing
kid.
is good.
Yeah.
Because there's a middle line that's just, but when you wake up,
it's back in the saddle again. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep. That's, I think, I don't know that we could pull it off and it would be any kind of entertaining thing like the radio play kind of thing that we do.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe just to try to see if we can fucking pull every line of dialogue out of our brain without looking. Have a third man just look, or fourth, like whatever we feel we need to get the project done.
Of like
I
Elm Street
bet
3
that
or
one we
something. A movie we think we. And it'd test our improv or ad libbing abilities.
Oh, shit.
Like if you miss a line in a play on stage, you aren't going to have somebody
Something
feeding
else.
it. Or at least not once you're older. So you got to pick it up.
Brian says he likes oldies like Twilight Zone, Lost in Space, and Batman.
I didn't watch a lot of Lost in Space. I watched a little bit of it, but definitely Twilight Zone and totally Batman with Adam West. I watched that as a kid.
I'm going to say this, and maybe it's a hot take. Maybe I'm going to upset some folks. Twilight Zone clears Black Mirror by country miles as far as being that like kind of sci-fi near future dread kind of shit. Like, oh, you thought it was this, but it's this kind of thing. It's not even close. That Black Mirror shit's fine. Seen an episode or two. It's just not for me. Most of Netflix's offerings.
Oh yeah. I don't think that comes close to touching the Twilight Zone.
No.
You could watch those today, I think, even if the younger generation could get past the black and white, you'd appreciate it.
You have to. Like, that is such a key in like figuring out movies, is being able to just push through something like that.
Something like that, if that's what's holding, because some of those stories and things they're timeless themselves. Well, Dan just said Twilight Zone is timeless. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And those stories are creepy as hell.
Yeah.
You just got to get past that. Oh, they happen to take place in 1950s and 60s.
And it's funny because like some of them take place so far in the fucking future that you have no idea when it is,
which is great too.
Yeah. Black and white adds to the mood. Honestly, a lot of times that is true. Like, I think 1933 Dracula looks a lot different if it's colored.
Yeah. No.
Very slow movie too. Much slower than I remembered watching it the first time. I showed my girlfriend and she was like, okay, great. I'd like to go to bed. And she loved Nosferatu, so
Nosferatu's got it. It's pretty good. I love the silent film even.
The silent film is pretty good. I watched Argyle Goolsby from Blitzkid did it. Like, he did a version where he did the score for it, obviously, because like the visual is public domain. But yeah, it's pretty cool little thing. What is a horror movie that changed your worldview or fucked you up? Or both?
Change my worldview. I don't know. Movies are powerful, but I don't know if they've ever changed my worldview other than just, maybe a piece of learning to interact with people. But I mean,
Yeah.
I was pretty outgoing too, as it was as a child, had a pretty decent upbringing, grounded for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that one. I like change my. Do you say horror movie or any movie in general?
Any movie, but
Yeah, I don't.
if you can pull it to horror.
No, I can't.
specifically,
I was wondering. I think they've just impacted certain times in my life more of a positive thing movies have. It's just
Yeah.
I remember time periods and experiences because I love movies so much. It's just such a thing I've always thought was fun.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't think there's something that, I didn't realize that blacks were people. Of course
Yeah,
they are.
no,
Like, you don't.
Yeah. It was
But,
nothing
like,
like that. I have nothing like that to go, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this made me
like
change my
maybe
view
there's
on-
little things where like maybe I should live my life a little more this way, be a little better of a man or whatever the fuck, just
Yeah,
or better
maybe,
of a person.
but I'd
Treat
say
people
even-
better because you saw someone nice in a movie. Like, that is personally probably the closest I can come to it. So don't.
Which is good, I think.
No.
I think we are, and that's why I said I'll give a little bit of influence to like things. Of course, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, and
Mhm.
things. But I also had, like I said, pretty grounded
Yeah.
upbringing as far as treat people with kindness, and we're not.
And I mean, I think that's like horror for the most part is the good overcoming
evil.
So
Yeah,
be a good person so you
Be a good
can
person.
overcome.
Yeah.
Dan says he got a good deal of his moral code from Star Trek. Brother, that's more true than even you realize.
But I think I also, at an early upbringing watching horror movies, I was reminded that they're movies, they're entertainment, they're not real. So my influence as far as who I am, other than the entertainment part of it and the good things of them, aren't really. It's like they weren't going to change me to be good or evil, no matter what I was watching.
No, and it's because that's that whole thing. I think like post Columbine, is like Marilyn Manson's responsible or
Yeah.
Eminem's responsible. No, you didn't watch these kids. They got picked on. You didn't do anything to the people picking on them, and they went wacky. Maybe one of them was already wacky.
The individual's responsible, and maybe if they have a youthful mind, their parents
right
are responsible. But beyond that, you can't blame other things for how you are or what you
can't
do.
blame the Catcher in the Rye for fucking stupid John Lennon getting shot. Fuck him anyway. Stupid fucking glasses and no ass. Kill yourself. Oh wait. No, Jess. I know you got a dumper back there.
As I hit my 40s, I did. but mostly no, I had no ass for the longest time.
Damn. So we got a couple things here. These eventually, I think these should be recurring segments. I do like these. So this one is called Burn It or Turn It. So I'm going to say something, and this will be largely horror based, but you'll either burn it because you hate it, it sucks, and you want it the fuck out of there, or you're going to turn it, meaning you're going to flip the burger, make sure it cooks nice, and and get it off the grill.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Legacy sequels.
Son of a bitch.
Shit.
First instincts, burn it.
Yeah, that seems right. Any reason why?
Because I don't like it when if they reset what has come before it, or they purposely say this didn't happen. I think of Halloween every time, but
yep.
if you're doing a legacy sequel, that still honors what came before, and you don't have to include everything that came before. You don't have to talk about it. You can ignore it, what you don't like, but don't blatantly say this did not happen.
Right.
That pisses me off.
Yeah. Are there any that you can think of offhand that did what you're saying and just kind of, well, we're not going to talk about those three, but sure they happened. We have no reason to not.
The most recent Texas Chainsaw was it 2022?
Yeah, I think.
Now, it wasn't a masterpiece, but I did have fun with that movie, and I don't think it did anything disrespectful to anything that came before it.
No, not terribly. I didn't like New Sally that much, though.
No, I would have really.
That seemed tacked on.
I'd rather you not
very
used
much
her.
Yep. Ooh, Laurie Strode.
If she was still alive, was it Sally Hardesty?
Marilyn
Burns.
Burns, yeah. I think it is. Pretty sure.
That would have been great, but trying to replace that,
it's like
you'd almost been better off
night.
getting Stretch, which I know you'd hate if they got Stretch. If they would have brought back Stretch doing that role.
It's kind of funny because she's actually Caroline Williams is one of the only things I like about that movie. Not Stretch so much, but
okay.
A little bit of 10% of the reason that I don't like that movie is that she is entirely too clothed. Now, of course, that's the character she's playing. That's, that fucking the archetype or whatever. So she can't really just be, the way I'd like her. But
I get you.
Yeah, I think maybe I wouldn't have been that upset if they had brought her back instead. Maybe she went fucking nuts like Dennis Hopper and is just running around with 2 chainsaws. Or maybe they really go fucking nuts with it and it's like a Darth Maul chainsaw.
Whoa. I mean, if they had a great score from John Williams, maybe.
Ooh. Oh, boy. Where's my phone? Next one. Meta horror. So, like your screams and
okay.
Cabin in the Woods. Shit like that.
Turn it.
You like those?
For Scream alone, I like Cabin in the Woods okay too. It's not rewatchable all the time, but I like Cabin in the Woods. But definitely, I like Scream, and I like that meta. I think that's what horror needed at the time. Now I don't think it quite works as well because it's been played out.
Well, I was going to say, do you think maybe it's because there's just so much of it?
Yeah, and the time's different. I mean, once you kind of do that so many times, that's self-referential. It's like, okay, we get it. It was clever, but now it's not. Let's go back to what works, the basics.
Yeah. And I think we're kind of getting the best of both worlds now. Because you're getting stuff like Until Dawn or Clown in a Cornfield or I had a third one and I fucking lost it. Like, I guess even going a couple years back, Thanksgiving. Very simple, nothing, whatever. But then you have, I guess it's the next one. There's not as much meta going on that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, obviously Scream is still pumping shit out, but
yeah, but that's even kind of learned that you can only do so much of that meta within those, even though it started meta. Yeah. They've kind of even gone back to the basics.
They really, I think, stretched it out with Scream 4 though, like those 9 openings.
Yes.
Which I love. I love Scream 4.
And I love Scream 4 too, but I remember thinking in 2011 or what, sitting in the theater, I'm like, yeah, you know what? This isn't quite as powerful anymore.
Nope.
The meta stuff. Yeah, the self-referential.
No. The next one, elevated horror.
And some examples.
And I would say it would be like Hereditary, Midsommar.
Burn it.
Burn it. Okay.
Burn it.
Why? What's wrong?
I think boring, trying too hard. I don't want to. I mean, I agree. I appreciate a great thinking piece when it comes to a film, but a lot of these, it's like, no, shut the fuck. I don't want to. You're trying too hard. I don't want to think about this. This is not fun.
Yeah, that's Hereditary from beginning to end. That's how I,
Yeah.
one brief moment, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like Devil, I don't know about Devil.
Yeah.
Where that would have fit? Is that that's not elevated horror,
I
is it?
just ticked Daniel Shine off. I know those are loves. A lot of people were sucking those movies' dicks that you mentioned, and I
didn't see him for years after the fact. Midsommar, I still haven't seen. Hereditary really just annoyed me. I think because people fucking talk it up so much, like, oh, it's so awesome, and it did. Like, there was one good moment, and it was funny, not scary.
yeah. And that's why a lot of these I'm slow to the punch because everybody talks something up. Some of this stuff, if I'm not excited myself to see it, I'll put it on the list and watch it 2 years later, and then I'll come back a lot of, hey guys, this movie was awesome.
This was good.
And yeah, we told you that 2 years ago.
Did you guys see it? Chapter 2?
Yeah.
Wait,
it was not. That was
no
not
one's
good.
used that one.
First one was all right.
The first one was a really good time. I saw that. I paid 2 or 3 times to see that in theaters, not A-list or Regal Unlimited. I said, "Here's $45. I want to watch this in theaters 3 times."
Oh my!
But, yeah, I don't disagree. I guess there's probably some that neither one of us are thinking about. Like,
there's
I don't know that I would. I don't know, like Talk to Me or Bring Her Back would quite fit in that bubble. Like, those are borderline for sure. And if
and you name enough,
really
I'm gonna be like,
that,
okay, that one was pretty good.
Yeah.
But First Instinct, burn it.
But Dan says, yeah, even if you didn't care for Hereditary, Midsommar is a very different movie. Maybe different in theme, but it is still a very, look what we're doing.
Oh, and I don't want
this whole thing. It's not your typical. It's like fucking in the 90s when everyone had to say thriller instead of horror movie.
Yeah.
Horror.
Come on.
Grow up. Shout out Planet CHH. All right, next one. VOD horror.
Video on demand horror, huh?
Yes, direct VOD, I guess, if that wasn't.
I just think that's kind of replaced the direct to video of today. So, I mean, that's such a wide, there again, that's hit or miss. I don't want to say burn it because there are some gems. I know it. But I guess burn it.
Burn it. Okay. Maybe you've got to turn it because of the gems.
Maybe
juice is
maybe just nobody look at that side of the meat.
Scrape that off the toast.
Can't do
Grandma won't even know.
I can't eat it.
But all right, that's fair enough. All right, Wisecracking Freddy. And I think I'll expand on that and say, like, post Elm Street 5. Like, when I say Wisecracking Freddy.
Yeah, but I mean, he's probably, other than 6, he's more than 5 wisecracking, but 5's there too. I mean, if I had to pick one or the other, as far as I want Scary Freddy over Wisecracking Freddy, so burn it. But I love Freddy all around. I love Wisecracking Freddy too.
Yeah, it's hard. I think I can say that Wisecracking Freddy does grate on me a little bit after a while. So, like, it's kind of hard to watch 5 and 6 together.
Yeah. If they kept doing that, I wouldn't like it. Like if they did a new movie and it was Wisecracking Freddy, no. So burn it. But if you didn't have any Wisecracking Freddy, you wouldn't have where's the fucking bourbon, bitch? Or and shit like that.
That's very true.
It's another line that maybe slept on a little too much.
Where's the fucking
bourbon?
But like it would be like what as an adult trying to watch 5-6 Looney Tunes, shorts back to back to back. Okay, I get
Yeah.
it.
Which a couple of them are fun,
Yeah.
but
Well, look, he ran through his drawing, but
yeah,
the bad
that's
guy
cute.
didn't.
It's cool. I like Looney Tunes, but yeah, I don't need to watch 5 in a row.
Next one, Creepy Kids.
Turn it.
Turn it. Hell yeah. Did you see? There's one. I think it's a UK movie. It's from like 08, 09, somewhere in there, called The Children. And
I have.
it is fucked up. That's one. I don't know if it was direct to video or anything.
I think it
like
was.
that, but it was something that I was not expecting to see. I heard no one talk about it. Accidentally watched it and was just like jaw on the floor at how good it was. Like just for a blind watch.
I haven't watched it since about that time, but I think that was a Blockbuster rental for me.
Nice.
And I think it probably was I assumed direct to video.
Straight to
time.
DVD.
Yeah.
Like
Straight to DVD.
Zombies on an airplane. Or just plain. But so much gets a theatrical nowadays. It is kind of like I'm noticing, probably because I'm in the app way too often. It's become one of my little Facebook, Regal. But you see shit like little movies, they'll get like a day or two in theaters. Like that whammy. What is that game? Test your luck, press your luck.
Mm-hmm.
That old game.
No whammy,
show.
no whammy, no whammy.
Yeah, the Paul Walter Hauser guy was just in a movie about that dude that fucking like caught the algorithm of like how the fucking thing spins, so he would just go stop, and just fucking cleaned up. I wanted to see it. I missed it. It was only in theaters like 2 fucking days. But like that is such a Netflix movie about a thing.
I think as far as
Maybe
that goes, what
it's
helps
bad,
is things are digital now.
Doesn't cost.
I have my problems with that, but that's a whole nother topic.
Prints are more expensive to produce. Shit,
yeah.
All that shit, right?
Yeah. Distribution is a lot, more expensive.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Last one here. Traumacore horror remakes. So I think Halloween 2018 is the poster child for what I mean here. So like a remake, a requel, like your legacy sequel thing. I'm going to throw all those into the same pot because
you are, but once you really say remake, though, because you've heard me 100 times say, I'll take a good sequel over a remake any day. So burn it.
So that's why I had to
burn it. Still
widen it, but burn it. Fuck them. Get them out of here. Because again, it kind of goes with Billy's thing. Horror doesn't need a woke message. It doesn't need to be about trauma. Like sometimes it's just there's a man with an axe.
Yeah.
You had a regular life. Everyone else around you did. Same amounts of fucked up. Yeah, like that's fair. I like that, and I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
So next segment is called Fridge Raid, and I'm going to give you some. It's kind of the opposite. I'm going to give you 4 sort of topics, columns, something. I don't know. My words are bad, but then you're going to give me a movie based on that. It can be horror. It should probably be horror, but it doesn't have to be, I guess. Okay. Let's expand on things. You're not just a horror movie guy.
No.
Neither am I. But so the first one, Frozen Solid. Now this should be a movie that you just can't warm up to. You've tried to watch it. You've tried to like it. Just can't do it.
Gosh. Yes. There's many.
So many.
What have I tried? Why am I blanking? Because this is stuff that comes to mind all the time sitting around. I just can't warm up to it. Yes, have an original thought.
Do it.
You gotta, Hollywood. You gotta. What can I want to warm up to? I'm gonna get some hate. I don't know why one comes to mind. Braveheart.
That's what. Interesting. What's the onus behind that one? That selection.
I don't know, and maybe if I go back and watch it again, I might not feel that way. It's just I'm remembering the time it was in theaters, and that was one of the very few movies in theaters that I like wanted to just doze off to.
Ooh.
I don't know why, and everybody else there again loved it.
Yeah, I'll say that too. It's really hard to completely not like a movie in a theater.
Yeah,
because it's big, it's loud, it's exactly how it's supposed to be seen. Most of the time, you've got soda, maybe some popcorn. Like you're set up to love anything that they show you. Just by endorphins.
You're so fucking true. I mean, and that reminds me again of my childhood. I'd go to if I could go to the movie, I would.
Yeah.
And I saw movies I would have never watched on TV or rented myself because that was what was playing in the two theaters we had, Fried green tomatoes. I'm like 10 years old.
Oh shit.
I fucking fell in love with fried green tomatoes because I had the experience.
Yeah. I think that is one of my mother's like top 5 movies. It might be higher than that even. I still haven't seen it. Like I've seen parts of it, but it's that thing. It's like, mom likes it. It sucks. What does she know?
And maybe you will watch
Steel Magnolias.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with Jess?
Yeah.
And I almost went to theaters with Steel Magnolias, but I think a friend was like, "No, dude, I'm not going to that."
What are you, gay?
I don't even think we're
girls in
to even see. Yeah, with me maybe. But yeah.
That's damn interesting.
Yeah.
Where?
Sorry.
I lost it. Okay. Next one. No, I scrolled wrong. This next one, Undercooked, which is something that's a good idea, but bad delivery.
Oh gosh. We were just talking about these, I think, on Jake's show the other night.
That feels true.
Yeah, great concept, but not executed. And I'm not going to say Freddy versus Jason because I don't believe that was completely true. There were things within it that applies to, but not the movie as a whole.
And I'll say I don't think there's any way to get a Freddy versus Jason movie that I would like. I just don't care to see.
No, you didn't want it to begin with.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the best things we got at that point. But we discussed it. Go watch that commentary over on Rewind or Die. Gosh, man. Your questions so hard.
I'm trying to get some decent shit going, man.
These are super hard, man. Oh, you're good. You're good.
Maybe let you think on that one for a minute. We'll go to Leftover Gold, which this would be an underrated gem. I don't really see the correlation between that one and what it's supposed to be, but hey, best I could come up with.
An underrated gem. I need to have like a list in front of me of movies, and then I'll go that one.
This one at you.
That's underrated.
What's one? Sorry.
No, honestly, since this cat's out of the bag, I don't think you've asked me a fraction of the stuff you've sent me. You've asked me like 75-80% of what you've asked me. I didn't receive.
What I will admit to is that I had my list of questions. I sent it through my buddy ChatGPT, and I said, out of these questions, which one of these do you think would need lead time for the guest to think? It gave me the list. I sent that list to you.
Okay.
And then fucking every goddamn question has been pull from the deep recesses of your mind.
Yeah.
The movie you saw when you were 13 and 4 months.
Undercooked, yeah, I mean. Fuck, what did I feel recently in the theater that was undercooked? Like I wanted to. Beetlejuice, maybe. I do enjoy it a lot. I like the movie a lot, but
Beetlejuice, huh?
the second one.
You're sitting the second one, really?
I like it a lot, but I think it,
Wow.
and I don't know, it didn't need to sit any longer, but like as far as waiting
No.
for it.
Yeah.
But there was a
Yeah.
few, yeah, you know, there's a
Okay,
chunk of the,
different.
especially the beginning, that needed to be more well done.
Well, I think if Jeffrey Jones had been less of a nasty little piglet, I think that would have helped, just fucking to not have a weird animation cutscene,
Yeah.
Fucking nasty. Because also, this isn't some weird, like they were 16, you shouldn't have done it, but I can kind of see it. This is like,
No, this.
I want to produce it. I want to make it and distribute it. And it's just like, fucking what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It does
And the
sound.
last one, yeah,
Okay.
it does a little bit. But the last one here in this
batch
segment is called Burnt But Tasty. It's a bad movie, but you love it. So I assume this would be something, I'm thinking, like maybe not for you, but like Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Children of the Living Dead, or
I do like both of those actually, but I'll add, I guess, children shouldn't play with dead things.
Okay.
I can't believe how much I enjoyed that when I watched that. The grittiness of it, and it's almost, some could say that's worse than Children of the Living Dead.
Yeah, I don't think I've
as far
seen
as
that.
quality.
Heard of it, obviously. That's a very well-known title, I think. Yeah. What is that one even about?
They go onto this island. I don't know. I can't remember if it's teenagers or film crew, and then zombies happen. But like, it's gritty. It's cheaply done, but I think it's still film. It's an older movie.
Yeah, 60s.
I want to say I don't know if is that old. I was going to say 70s.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe early 80s.
I'm just guessing. I don't fucking know.
I first watched it probably over 20 years ago, and I was burning through the zombie phase, and so I was looking for everything in the stores.
Burning through the zombie phase? Was this when we were writing movies?
No, this was before that.
Before that, okay.
Yeah, this is early 2000s.
All right, because that's another thing that I meant to bring up with you. So I think when we have you back on, we'll get into that.
Okay.
But what do you think about Near Dark? Just while Billy's bringing it up again.
Near Dark. Okay.
Yeah, just solid little vampire movie.
Yeah.
I liked it a bunch. He, I think he holds a grudge against Lost Boys the same way I do TCM2, because Lost Boys kind of pushed this down, and like, I don't know if did they come out. They must have come out the same year. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. One got pushed down for the other, and then for me, TCM2 was pushed down. Night of the Creeps, far superior movie in my opinion.
The Lost Boys, you can add that to maybe one of the questions I couldn't really answer, as far as something a lot of people like that I just don't. I don't know.
Frozen solid, you can't warm up to it.
Yeah.
Which, because now that I'm thinking, I think
throw it in one of those.
Works for that, and that makes a lot of sense.
I don't hate it, but I don't even know if I can say I like it.
It seems very surface level.
Yeah.
So the question is film crew, not teenagers, or the answer is, and then it is the 70s, not the 60s.
Yes. Okay.
You fat bald moron. Sorry. Okay. Final segment. Season to taste. We'll go horror for this one. Pick a movie and one change to either fix it. I want both. Pick one change to fix it, to make it a 10 out of 10. And then something that would just ruin it.
This I did have a question ahead of time, and I still couldn't fucking. I was sitting there thinking super too hard, and finally I was just like, you know what? Freddy versus Jason. To fix it, Kane Hodder is Jason to make it a 10 out of 10 for. I mean, there's other fixes, but to make it a 10 out of 10, and absolutely would make it a 0. Would if they had cast somebody else besides Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. So pretty easy to
That's
answer.
the only thing that. We have to watch a movie that is like that in a couple weeks.
I don't think that could be
Freddy
fixed.
without Robert Englund.
I don't think Robert Englund could have fixed that movie for me, even.
No. To me, that movie is fixed by either not suggesting maybe he was innocent or affirming that he was an innocent man and he is just fucking pissed off.
Yeah, those are good ones. That's a good one. Good one. Yeah.
I was being nice to these kids. You're fucking snot-nosed little brats. I wasn't trying to bang them or look at
that
them
gave it some substance,
nastily.
something original to the story, and I almost like, and like you said, they should have went one way or the other.
The next scene, they go, "No, he did it."
Yeah. It's like, oh, they've made this kind of interesting and different.
Yeah,
I can look at this. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
So, so if I'm ever on my show, I can use that one, I guess.
I don't think I would love that. I hope you remember to bring that up again. But I don't think I would still love the movie, but it definitely would have made it better.
Yeah, because it's hard to make a remake good, I think. Make a good movie remade.
Yeah.
You can make a shitty movie good, but they don't ever try to do that.
No. They don't. Yeah, man, I get it. It makes sense, but you're right. Why not take some shitty movies and make it better? But people won't buy it.
That would be like the logic step, hey, remember this sucked before? We tried some things.
It doesn't suck now. But you'd have to advertise it like that. It doesn't suck anymore.
And I guess that's probably where they'll get a little,
That's why the money, though, oh, this didn't make money. Nobody's going to see this because this sucked. Why remake it?
Yeah. So Jess, before we leave, I'm going to get to some questions from the chat and get you out of here. You have a life to lead. It's late and you don't have a jacket. Dan asks, in your Hollywood career, we'll be getting to that next time too, did a sexy starlet ever try and get a mattress shout out from you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there was not starlets. There were some moments of non-starlets that
just some hot gals.
Yeah. In situations that I really couldn't act upon, I guess. But not many. Nothing. Yeah, I wish I had a better story, somebody.
Veronica Mars took me behind the.
I think he just wants me to bring up. Yeah, I think he just wants me to bring up Andy Dick again. As close as I ever came to that, and I wouldn't. That starlet is Andy Dick.
If Chris Farley had lived, do you think he would have made it as a serious dramatic actor?
Yes,
I agree with that. Yeah, he had it in the comedy movies. He could, effectively make you feel bad for him. Or feel sad for him, sorry for him, what have you.
Tommy Boy, his first big picture. You right away, yeah. He's great dramatic moments in that. But if he really even focused on drama, I think he could really tear it up.
Like perhaps if Sandler helped him out a little bit, because Sandler's also another guy from that era, a comedy guy that can fucking act his balls off.
Yeah.
Speaking of, just so whatever, we go out on a bad note with this kid. He hated Wayne's World. He said it was boring.
Who did?
My kid.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
And yeah, it hurt. It ruined the rest of the night for me. I was just like, I wasn't in a bed. I was just like, it's one of my favorite movies.
Oh man, yeah, that's another one I saw in the theaters twice. I love it. It's.
If you think about it, that is very 1992.
I was starting to think about it and his age,
Because like I thought, oh, Alice Cooper's gonna pop him. That's gonna be very funny to him. He doesn't know who the fuck Alice Cooper is.
No.
Because like it's something in the car, maybe a song or two plays, and I don't know, whatever.
I
so
get
it's
it.
not someone that he's been introduced to, but
It
I didn't know
still
who the
hurts,
fuck
but
he
I
was
get
either.
it.
Yeah, I just fucking. The only reason I'm not overly mad about it is because like Billy Madison hit, Tommy Boy hit,
Okay.
Uncle Buck hit. Like he's got taste.
Well, you do too. Wayne's World is special.
Oh, thank you.
But you're right. It is.
Jess.
It is of a time. But I could go back and watch it now and laugh my ass off through it. Still.
I was. Fucking the Grey Poupon scene early on is fun. The camera 1, camera 2 thing. I love that. Garth, when the airplane's going over and Garth is just, giving Wayne a piece of his mind. And,
I love that movie.
Yeah. Anyway, this one is another one from Dan. Thanks, Dan, for putting questions out there. The rest of you could have if you wanted. And I think you did. I just didn't. You didn't tag them as questions like Dan does, so my stupid brain didn't connect it. What movies have you guys watched recently? Let's just say in the past week. Let's keep it. And if there's anything theatrical, you can throw that into. That's further out.
I go for
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I have
been on, I guess, a Hannibal kick. So I watched Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon this past week.
Nice.
Last movie is what? Go ahead.
The middle. How do you feel about the Hannibal, the middle in that 3?
My least favorite of that 3.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched that one, I think, a few weeks back.
Now they replaced
Clarice.
Yeah. It's still that character though, right?
Yeah.
Different
in Hannibal. Julianne Moore replaced Jodie Foster for that. Which she did fine, but yeah, it would have been a much better.
You can't do that shit.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs was such a powerful performance.
Even so, like fucking replacing Patricia Arquette with Tuesday Night is dumb. Like a much lower level movie seen by far fewer people. You don't fucking do that. It sucks. It ruins it. It really does. Nothing wrong with Tuesday Night. Nothing wrong with Julianne Moore, like you said.
Yeah.
But goddamn it, knock it off.
You bring that up. For a while, and I did figure it out, not too terribly long, but like first watch, I'm not sure I knew if Tuesday Night was actually supposed to be.
Oh, no shit.
Patricia Arquette. Yeah.
I think maybe at first I was kind of like, she looks different.
Yeah.
And then I think soon after that, I was obsessed with credits, with run times, with, release year, all that shit as a kid.
Oh yeah.
So quickly. Nope. That's Ken Sagos and fucking blah, blah, blah. Shout out Ken Sagos.
Born in the wrong generation, Steak. You should have been born 10 years earlier.
I've said that most of my life.
You really should have, because
but
the way you've talked, and I knew this, but like this hour when we've got this one-on-one, that like it's you grew up when I grew up too, didn't you? No.
Just perpetually. That's, I think, in large part due to my mother.
And last movie I saw in theaters was Lilo and Stitch, the live action with my family. Yeah,
how'd you feel about that?
It was cute. And I love the old animated movie.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say you're out of that demo for the most part, but
I am. I was older, but I can appreciate well done animated movies, and I wouldn't probably have gone and saw that if I didn't have a family. Yeah, but I was cool with it.
I saw the live action Lion King when that came out, and I liked it because it's basically the same fucking story. So like, I would be an asshole if I said, no, that one's dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, then you didn't like the first one, or but
I agree.
They are kind of pointless, though, aren't they? Lion King in particular.
Yeah, and Lion King, the animated one, is one of my in the top 4 of the Disney animated. classic.
Yeah, it's probably my 2 offhand. Number 1 is Aladdin, and it's so far ahead.
Aladdin is in there too, and then 2 older ones, Lady and the Tramp and 101 Dalmatians. That probably
Oh, yeah.
stems from
Oh,
nostalgia and
see,
childhood.
I was thinking specifically like the 90s ones. So,
No, the original.
101 Dalmatians, Jungle Book, I think, would be my go-to there.
That's a great one too.
The bare
Necessities. I could sing the whole thing.
Oh, so I watched Assault on Precinct 13. That's
The
part
movie of the
reason
night
why it's up.
or the week.
Also watched the remake. Very different movie. Like, I liked it a lot. It was just such a good movie. Like the whole kind of conceit is a little bit different. Like the main thing that the precinct is shutting down, after the night or whatever, that's kind of the same because it brings up the same kind of whoopsies. Like the phones are down, this is down, that's down. So it puts them in the same kind of predicament, but the convict is different. Like it's just there's all kinds of little references to the first one, but it's not just the same movie. There's some, in my opinion, like great fucking leaps to kind of do something different without just being ridiculous. And there's people die that you don't want to see die, which isn't always the case, especially with something like a mid 2000s remake.
I haven't seen the
2000s,
remake.
I guess. I stole it from the internet. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but really good. Ethan Hawke, Lawrence Fishburne. So Lawrence Fishburne, I'm fucking in. Ethan Hawke is slowly winning me over. I don't like him, but it seems like he's only in good movies. I don't dislike him either.
Yeah.
He's got a good eye for scripts, it seems like.
Yeah.
But Brian Dennehy's in it. Gabriel Byrne.
Good ones.
Oh, John Leguizamo's in it. Always like that guy. Fucking.
I did too.
Little bit, yeah. So that I saw Woman in the Yard from this year was pretty good. I saw that this weekend. Everyone shit on it. I thought it was a pretty goddamn good time. Now this is one that does have kind of trauma baked into it. So if that's not your speed, you're probably not going to like it. But I think it's there without being obvious from the start. You kind of get a sense of it late and go, oh shit, that's what it is. But I think then last one I'll wrap up with, because I watched fucking probably close to 12 movies a weekend. I have nothing to do for 8 of my 10-hour shifts. It's nuts. Thunderheart from 1992, starring Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
So he's some percentage native. He's an FBI agent, so they send him to South Dakota to deal with some kind of thing. A lot of murders are happening. They send him out there under the pretense of you just got to figure out what's going on and take care of this. And then it turns out there's a whole bigger conspiracy at play. Big time like 90s character actor named Graham Greene, who is brown. He's vaguely native, or he can one of those guys that can play whatever kind of brown person they needed in the 90s, to kind
I
of
think
be the
he
face
is
of whatever.
Native American, would you
I'm
say?
sure yeah, probably. I guess I could look, but I like him anytime he shows up. He's Die Hard with a Vengeance. He's one of the fucking I think he's the guy that has to go get McClane from his apartment at the beginning, like when he's hungover or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, he's one of his officers, co-work.
Yeah.
He's great in anything, like you said, though.
Anything, but really good movie. And it's the first time, because like Val Kilmer passed, and I've been kind of going through his stuff the same way, like with Hackman a little bit. And I didn't really get him too much. He's just I kind of went, oh, he's a movie star. Got it. Not really an actor. He looks good and can deliver his lines. Like Ben Affleck is he's a movie star. He's kind of a good actor. Fuck. I can't think of one. How about we move on? But this movie, I was watching him a little more, and maybe it's because I was watching on a laptop, so I was close. But there was a lot of little shit with his eyes and like thinking. I was like, fuck, he's acting. like it's not just pause, line, Just thought that was cool. So check that one out if you get a chance. Thunderheart. Solid little movie. But anyway, so that'll do that. Last question, another one from Dan. Who did 9/11? Also, how big is Andy Dick's dick? The world needs to know.
I have no answer for any of that. I don't know.
Well, the Jays did 9/11. We know that. I'll let you figure out what J means. Cliff Booth was in here with a couple heaters, man. I got to fucking get these out before we leave. Faruza stole my mattress for drug money once. That's from Cliff Booth. It's been a minute since I've seen a Faruza. So thanks, Cliff. Good. Fuck, I don't think it's been a minute since I've seen you over here. Ben says Child's Play remake changed the look of the doll. Doesn't have to look like old Chunky, but not something that looks like it's been dropped on its head a million times. I'd even prefer a teddy bear.
Fair enough.
Drew in the house says shout out to the two studs. We're having a birthday in the house. Is that Mrs. Doubtfire?
Or is Andrew having a birthday? I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but it feels like he doesn't seem like the guy that go, "Hey guys, it's my birthday."
No.
But maybe that is. Tell the kid to get the net. Yeah. Hello. Fat Billy says fat guys can't do drama. We're only allowed to show our girth. Now he's being sarcastic.
Fruit, please.
Ooh, does Jess get residuals on anything that he has been a part of in Hollywood? See?
Good question, I wish. No.
No Ned's declassified money, huh?
I have check stubs from, television shows.
Oh, that's cool.
Somewhere in a folder, but yep. Paid
Dan says watch Chloe for some hot Julianne Moore action. Sorry, Ben. We got to wrap. Ben fucking came in with some great questions. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Towards the end, I didn't see him because I was looking at the other ones. Woo woo! Do I know Drew or what?
You did. You called it. You called it.
Hell yeah! But anyway, it's been almost 2 hours, Jess. I meant to cut this off like an hour, but
you had a talker with you online here tonight, so
I am not upset about it. I just didn't want to hold you up
I'm good
all night. Get you to bed. With Mrs. Channel.
She's gone to bed already.
Well, get in there. Wake her up.
Now,
with your mouth. But Jess, where can the people find you?
They can find me here on YouTube's on cable channel 11. Oh, yeah. Hi. Didn't know I was going to be left to myself. Cable channel 11.
We weren't sending. No, I was giving you the. You the moment.
The icon, if that's what you look for.
Yeah.
Okay. Type in cable channel 11. And you can find me, all over the community on Steak Sauces channels and shows. Rewind or Die. Jay the Stingray.
Absolutely.
All the friends.
Check out cable channel 11. Hopefully we'll get another Jess Graham live soon.
Never.
Maybe with someone.
But that's the thing, and I want to tell you, doing this.
Yeah.
You are a great host, and you've got some wonderful questions. And like I said, I felt like fucking Barbara Walters was digging in on me.
I have to go back through those and send more to you for next time, I guess.
But if you go back and watch the Jess Graham lives, I did it. You might have heard this story too. I did a public access show when I was 12, the Jess Graham Show. And I wanted to be like, a Johnny Carson. So I did this show, and I had the city backdrop, and I tried to get important guests in the area. The last show I did have Max Allen Collins, who wrote Road to Perdition. But
no shit. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. He's from the hometown. But anyway, it was fun then. It was cute. It got me.
Yeah.
I was okay at it for that age. You could excuse the flaws. But when I did bring it sort of it back here to YouTube, I hated it. I thought it was going to be
Really?
fun. I felt so stiff finding the guests that were worth talking to other than the buddies. It was like I'm asking questions that the answers are already out there on the internet. Even Jeffrey Landman from Halloween 5, I'm trying to even think of some obscure guests, but still connected to something big.
Yeah.
And it was like
I'm thinking is that
everybody's asked
just interview them as
question.
people, man.
Well, you do, but then
Get them back on.
yeah.
Tell
I
these
was
fucking
uncomfortable.
dorks
I didn't
that-
have
hey,
fun with it. I
Yeah.
felt stiff.
I guess that's fair.
I felt like there was a
Hey.
lot of stress of trying to think of shit. I didn't enjoy it in this sense.
Yeah,
I
I don't
enjoy
care
it.
what Billy from Part 5 thought about his experience there. He's said it before.
Yeah,
I've heard him
exactly.
say
It's
it
like,
before.
what can I add? Even if I got a huge celebrity, it's like going to the conventions that we've talked about before. I got nothing to ask them because everything I wanted to know
Yeah.
since I was a kid, I know now.
Yeah.
Because of
And like social media, you can ask him the dumb shit like, what's your favorite fucking pizza topping?
which, yeah, that's about all I could
like-
do to be, and that's not even original anymore.
No, that's fucking for me, that's ripping off the Sausage Factory. That's where I was getting it from.
Yeah.
But
Oh, classic. I wish that show would come back.
I wish it never left.
Yeah.
Because I feel that everyone that was involved has grown. Some of them don't do shit anymore. Some of them are much bigger than they were. They're doing different kinds of things.
Yeah.
I don't know that you could put Humpty Dumpty back together.
You can't. You can't. You're right.
If they had never left, maybe B Junior got back in the mix. I liked him. I miss him. It's funny. His fucking camera and internet never worked.
But then again,
when
if
it
that
did,
was
he
still
was great.
Soren, do you think
Oh, I think we all
would have all spun off?
Oh God, no! You and I wouldn't be sitting here. I don't think
We'd still be probably in the chat.
Yeah. There never would have been a
Hey,
need
Sus.
for it. Yeah. Hey, numbers and letters. Just
Yeah.
Ben says Jess is known to love a handsome woman.
B. Arthur.
If you don't love B. Arthur, you're an asshole.
Thank you. Thank you for backing that up. I get a lot of
fucking
shit for that.
She's funny as shit, man.
Fantastic.
I'll bang a funny, ugly broad. Also, she's tall as fuck.
It's a handsome woman.
That's two good things.
Don't have to
got
break my
shoulders.
knees.
Yeah. But anyway, Jess, you are a handsome woman. thank you
Thanks,
for being
guys.
here.
Cliff and Steak.
Thank you for everyone in the chat for being here tonight. And until next time, Iris loves you.